Mr. Lascelles has a few words, so if you want to come up this way to hear what he has to say to us, please come get close. I know it's a real blow, but we're not done. There's many legislative meetings. Here you go. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome. That's why I decided to run, and that's why I'm glad I was elected. It's very frustrating at times, especially when it seems like reason is a little in short supply. And you get used to hearing arguments that have nothing to do with what we're really talking about here. What we've been told is take it to Albany, right? Everyone that loves to have local control of your community, but no, not this time. Let's take it to Albany. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because we have no say here, well, then why are we passing a resolution urging them to come into our community? But I'll tell you, first and foremost for me, what I said in there is what I'll say here. Our current comprehensive emergency management plan is past due for review. And I started in February talking to the members of the legislature just to bring it up to date. And I've attended emergency management trainings in Albany, and I asked them, we have a trestle at 1 mile up a narrow gorge, and at the bottom of that gorge is the county building. What happens if a tanker falls off that trestle? The liquid propane starts running down the stream. As it becomes a gas, it's heavier than air, and it's going to come out on the courthouse lawn. And we have an industry that's coming into our community and is going to increase that danger. Do we have a duty to anticipate that? And they said, yes, of course we do. And that's what I brought back to them and started talking to them about. Let's look at our plan. Let's bring it up to date. You can't give up. You really can't give up. Well, everyone's asking what next. What can we do to further urge them to rescind their resolution? And it always comes down to the same thing. You have to find somebody else to vote for. That's really what it comes down to. And no, this is the heartbreaking thing of it all, is that this year 2 seats on the legislature, including the village of Watkins Glen, are up for election, and we don't have opponents. We don't have somebody that will run. That's really what it will take. But aside from that, all I can say is I'm not giving up, because there are Thank you. And I have to say, I truly appreciate all the people that have come up to me and expressed their thanks. It's a really humbling experience, but we can't give up, because it's wrong. And it's the safety of our community and our ability to decide what kind of a community we want to live in. So I won't give up, and I know that you won't either. We'll keep at it. Thank you.
Hi, I'd like to introduce a gentleman. His name is Richard Ballard, and he's got a little something to say to you.
Yeah, well,
Richard, come on up.
One of the people that voted for the facility at Crestwood is Mr. Barnes. who I believe is my county legislator, and he's up for re-election this year, but there's nobody running against him.
Yes.
Yes, there is.
Yes. Angie.
Angie Francis.
Who's running?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was told there was nobody running against him.
Step up there, Angie.
Okay.
Against no harm.
Okay. Then
I announced in April that I was running for the District 6 legislative
Past
seats.
chair, Angie.
I was First Lady to chair Schuyler County, and I have an interest. I have an interest in our county. I love it very much. I chaired it during a very difficult time when the county was bankrupt back in 1991, and from 92 to 96, we brought our county back. And again, I'm very sad that, if they had rescinded this resolution tonight, then you could go to Albany, because when you go to Albany, most likely they're going to say, but look at your Schuyler County Legislature passed it. So I wish, they had rescinded it on behalf of the many people I see here. Yes, it's true, as Barbara Halpin says and a couple of the other ones, the decision is going to be made in Albany, and it's probably going to be political. But it's so important, too, that our county has the Glen, we have the lake, we have the racetrack, we have all these beautiful wineries. We're tourism and agriculture. And when you go to Chemung County, you see those big pipelines as you go to the mall. They're not pretty sights for a tourism area. And again, I just, I'm not here to take advantage of the situation, but when you did say there was nobody running.
I was told.
I'm running, there'll be a Republican primary between Phil and I on September 9th. I'm also running on the conservative line. I got an endorsement from our conservative party. They endorsed me over him. And I'm petitioning now for the independent line, which I hope that I plan on calling We the People. And I've almost got enough signatures for that, so I will be on the November ballot for at least the conservative independent. If I make it through the Republican primary, then I'll have a really easy to get on that legislature. But I need everybody's help and support, and I'm not here to take advantage of it. So
I was told that he was running unopposed, and I said to Joe, you know what? I want to run. But I did that reluctantly. Now that I know there's someone running against him.
Are you going to oppose LBG? Are you going to oppose President?
I just said our county's too beautiful to bring in all those pipelines, and I am here again to support what the majority of the people want. You've got one legislator who listens. I've been going door to door and got to about maybe 120 some signatures on the Republican line, and I'm doing 40 some already on the independent line. I've been asking, number one, what do you think of propane? Because I don't represent Angie or myself. I represent what the people are saying. And I haven't found the silent majority.
Mr. Lacell is going to give us a broad picture of what happened, but before that, Yvonne has one.
Please just ask him to step out of the way real quick. He's got to get me. He's got to get through.
Okay, people have got to step away from the police car because we are nice. Thank you. Thank you for asking in such a nice way, officer. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, Yvonne Taylor has something to say.
Don't eat the mic.
Okay, Yvonne has something to say.
Hey, I just want to say that a lot of people are coming up to the co-founders of Gas Free Seneca and saying that Gas Free Seneca needs to sue the Schuyler County Legislature for open meeting violations. That is something that the citizenry should absolutely do. Absolutely do. However, Gas Free Seneca's charter is to shut this gas storage facility down. We've sent a loud and clear message to the Schuyler County Legislature that their vote did not represent their constituents' wishes. However, Gas Free Seneca is now turning its focus to the ultimate decision maker in this project, who is Governor Cuomo. We're not going to waste our personally, as far as Gas Free Seneca is concerned, we cannot lose focus of that goal, and that goal lies in his hands. I still think that you're all here tonight. You can all file a lawsuit against the Schuyler County Legislature. Please do. Please do. Okay? But don't tell us to do it, because we're going to focus on Governor Cuomo. So thank you.
I'm just going to take a minute to explain a little what happened inside. The resolution wasn't formally on the agenda, but during the half-hour comment period at the beginning, we heard from members of the community. Gary Judson, a retired pastor here in Watkins Glen. Dr. McKenzie, that's a resident of Hector, that's worked with doctors here, and he was the head of the Cayuga Medical Center for 10 years. And they made very good points. Also, Joe Campbell provided the legislature with a copy of an email which was from the DEC stating that they are still reviewing the comments, so that it, contrary to what the resolution that they had passed last month said, the application is not languishing on the governor's desk. And then Dr. McKenzie talked about his work in the medical profession and how when there's a problem with safety, what you do is you take a time out and you make sure that you're all on the same page and you know what you're doing before you continue. And based on all the comments that I heard, there was only one person that spoke in favor of the facility. I made a motion to rescind the resolution, and that got a second from Legislator Van Harp, who's also from Hector.
Compliment Dr. McKenzie for his presentation.
Very good. That was very good.
And then it came down to a vote, and there were 3 votes in favor. Legislator Barb Halpin also voted to rescind it. But we weren't able to get the majority, so that's where it stands now. Thank you.
So does anybody have any great ideas? Okay, Sandra, do you want to? Oh, yes, here we go. Oh, yes, right, yes, and we have a whole bunch of letters. Yvonne, could you put the petition to Cuomo on your website?
Yes.
Okay, it's the one that says that we are against their decision. And so if you could sign it and send it in, if you haven't done that today. And here you go.
Hi, I'm Rob McKenzie. Thanks very much for asking me to participate in this. Yes, I have written Governor Cuomo, each one of you on your own, whether you've signed a petition or not, please write him, please express your opinion. This will be a political issue in Albany, and it's not easy because our state senators haven't really stepped up to the plate on this one. So you can do your part. You can do your part in Albany by helping to influence this for the decision that's going to be made.
And who is he? Did you identify him? Who is he?
I'm Rob McKenzie, retired physician and CEO at Cayuga Medical Center. One of the points I made was that, Ithaca just had a major accident. Ithaca has a much larger population and therefore a much larger emergency response capability than Schuyler does. And yet when the tanker explodes over here, it's not going to be just full of cars, it's going to be full of fuel. And the magnitude of the accident will be larger and the ability to respond will be smaller, not because we don't have dedicated responders here. We do. We just don't have enough. We're too small a community over here to have the number of people it would take to respond effectively for a major disaster. And so when Mike Lascelles says, we really have to look seriously at that comprehensive emergency plan, boy, is he right, because it's not going to be easy to come up with a good system that's going to solve the issue. When they talked about how can we prevent these accidents, even in Ithaca, we've got the same hills you do over here. Even in Ithaca, the chief of fire says there's no possible way to prevent all those accidents. There is something that's going to break, and the fail-safe behind it's going to break and fall down, and once in a while there will be an accident. You can try to route people other directions, on different routes, but there's only so many ways to get from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill. And so there will be accidents that happen in every community that's got set of hills like we do here. So, if you want to help Schuyler County prevent that, volunteer to be a resource person for emergency management, because we're going to need it. We don't have the resources over here. We have a medical reserve corps over here to help back up on emergency responses, and I'm part of that. I happen to be the one physician on that corps of 36 people, and we could use a few more physicians. So if you want to talk to your doc over here to say, hey, are you going to be there when we have an accident? Can you help Dr. McKenzie out? I'd appreciate that too. So thanks very much.
So before we disperse, Yvonne said that, probably most of our cars are over there. So we would like to all walk together back to our cars if that's where they are. Okay. And pay attention to the traffic signals. Yeah. And I don't know if we'll have marshals this time, but please do pay attention. And this person has something to say about the next voter.
Yeah, yesterday in Ithaca, I got to hear a little bit of Howie Hawkins speaking. He's the Green Party candidate for the New York State governor. And I don't have contact information on me, but I volunteered to be part of the campaign. And I just want to encourage everybody to find out about that, because he's got a great platform, and he's completely, against fracking, supporting the 100% sustainable energy by 2030. And he's very optimistic about getting a large turnout if we work on it and we volunteer and we donate money and get his name out there, because actually a lot of Republicans actually agree with a lot of what he's putting out there. So you can look it up.
Thank you.
Real quick, if you're taking the LPG signs home with you, please take a stand and put it in your yard.
Yes.
They're back at the marina. Thank you.
Yes. I want to say thank you to Gary Judson, who is standing in front of us. Could you just, before we disperse, can you just come up here so we can applaud you? This is Gary. He is the man who read the demand. And he has been his body on mind before. He is an amazing man. So thank you. Would you like to say anything?
Just that it's a privilege to be a part of a group like this. People who care about their community and who care about the environment and who care about Seneca Lake. My son Patrick and I have fished Seneca Lake for many, many years, and we hope that we can continue to do that. So thank you for coming and for showing up and for being responsible citizens, ones who care about your neighbors and ones who care about your community. Thank you very much for coming. It was a privilege to be a part of it.
Thank you so much.
So we're not done here. Our work is just beginning. So we'll see you at the next rally. And hopefully we have your email and you just... Yes, and we're all going to rally back right down Main Street, Franklin Street. So let's move it and have some fun. We will win this. I trust it.
I think we're going to go to Village Marina and eat drinks if you all want to go.
Okay, sounds good. How was it here,
All your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
The arguments were so good that I thought they might be some.